Welcome to the Explainer. Now, we've all been in that debate, right? Android versus iOS. But today, we're going to put our personal feelings aside. We're looking at this as business strategists. Because when it comes to your app, this choice isn't just about features, it's about your bottom line. So let's just dive right in. Look, choosing between Android and iOS, it's not just a tech decision, not even close. This is a fundamental strategic choice that's going to define who you sell to, how you make money, and honestly, whether you sink or swim. Okay, first things first, let's talk about the sheer scale of this thing. And wow, the numbers are just huge. As you can see, Android isn't just winning the global market share game, it is absolutely dominating. We're talking about roughly 7 out of every 10 smartphones on the planet. So if your goal is just pure massive reach, well, this is where you start. But here's the thing, market share only tells you how many people are out there. It doesn't tell you who they are. And that, my friends, is where the story gets really interesting. This isn't just about reach, it's about the potential for riches. Let's really dig into the two very different crowds you're trying to reach. I mean, just look at this number, 2.8 billion users. It's almost hard to wrap your head around. This isn't just a user base, it's a global force, especially in these huge, fast-growing markets. If you want to go big, and I mean globally big, Android is your ticket. And then you've got the counterpunch from iOS. Now, yeah, 1.6 billion is a smaller number, but, and this is a big but, it's not about the size. It's about where those users are. iOS users are heavily concentrated in the world's wealthiest countries. And that single fact changes the entire game. And that's the key, right? That geography translates directly into spending power. I mean, let's be blunt, the average iOS user simply has more disposable income. So if you're selling a premium product or you're counting on subscription revenue, this isn't just some random stat. This could be the single most important piece of data for your whole strategy. Okay, so we've established the users are totally different. But guess what? The platforms themselves, the very philosophies they're built on, they're worlds apart. And it really all boils down to one simple idea: control versus freedom. So Apple, everyone talks about their walled garden, right? And it's the perfect description. They run a really tight ship. For you, the user, that's great. It means security, it means quality, it means trust. But for a business, it means you have to play by Apple's very strict rules. The approval process is tough and there's just less wiggle room. Android, on the other hand, is like this big, wide open field. You've got so much more freedom to publish, to customize, to market your app however you want. And that's a massive plus if you want to innovate quickly. But there's a catch. You have to build your app to work on thousands of different phones, which can be a real headache. All right, so we've covered the people and the platforms. Now for the part everyone's waiting for. Let's follow the money. Where is it actually going, and how do people on these platforms behave when it's time to pull out their credit cards? And this right here is the big paradox in the mobile world. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. iOS has way fewer users, but look, they're pulling in almost 2/3 of all the money made from apps. In a $160 billion market, most of that cash is flowing through Apple. And this isn't some weird fluke. The data shows this over and over again. iOS users are just, well, they're more culturally conditioned to pay for digital stuff. Whether it's a subscription, a premium feature, you name it, they're just more likely to open up their digital wallets. But of course, there's a catch to reaching those big spenders. It costs more. A lot more, actually. The price you pay just to get one person to install your app, what marketers call the cost per install, is way higher on iOS. And that's a number your finance team is definitely going to care about. Okay, but it's not all about the initial sale, right? What about keeping your users engaged? Well, if that's your game, Android has a pretty interesting advantage. Their users are significantly more likely to actually open those push notifications you send, which gives you a direct, powerful way to pull them back in. So, after all this data, what's the verdict? What's the big takeaway? It's this: you have to stop asking which platform is better. That's the wrong question. The right question is which one is better for you and your specific goals. So let's break it down with this simple chart. Think of it as your cheat sheet. If you need massive reach and you're going to make money from ads, that's Android all day. Chasing high-value customers with a premium subscription, you got to go with iOS. If you need to scale fast or just test an idea, Android's flexibility is your friend. But if you're building a premium brand where every customer is super valuable over their lifetime, that's iOS territory. But here's the thing.
The real pros, the businesses that have the resources, they don't actually choose. They play both sides. A dual platform strategy lets you grab that massive scale from Android and tap into that incredible revenue stream from iOS. It's the best of both worlds.
So really, the platform war, it's kind of over. The real war, your strategic war for your customers, that's just getting started. The only question is, are you ready?